Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is Vishnuman Jipudi, and I am glad that you are here. Today, we'll be solving problem number 8 on LeetCode, string to integer, atoi. Implement atoi, which converts a string to an integer. The function first discards as many whitespace characters as necessary until the first non-whitespace character is found. Then, starting from this character, takes an optional initial plus or minus sign, followed by as many numerical digits as possible, and interprets them as a numerical value. The string can contain additional characters after those that form the integral number, which are ignored and have no effect on the behavior of this function. If the first sequence of non-whitespace characters in stir is not a valid integral number, or if no such sequence exists, either because stir is empty or it only contains whitespace characters, no conversion is performed. If no valid conversion could be performed, a zero value is returned. And we have to note that only the space character is considered as a whitespace character, and we're assuming that we're dealing with an environment that could only store integers within the 32-bit signed integer range, which is from -2 to the 31st to 2 to the 31st minus 1. If the numerical value is out of the range of representable values, int max, or 2 to the 31 minus 1, or int min, -2 to the 31, is returned. So first, we're going to look at a few examples. So they give us a string of 42, it returns 42, no big deal. This string, which has a bunch of whitespace characters, and then -42, still returns -42. Here, however, the first non-digit character is after the last digit, which means that since this is a whitespace, the conversion stops here. In example 4, the output is 0 because the first character is not a digit. Example 5, this whole digit is a number, but it's greater than the range, so we return -2 to the 31st. So first what we're going to do is initialize int max and int min. So we first know that int min, as stated here, is equal to -214748364 And we also know that int max is just the absolute value of this minus 1. So that's 214748364 Alright. So now they're asking us to ignore whitespace at the beginning of the character. So what we do is just use the .rstrip function of the string. The stir is going to equal to stir.rstrip and lstrip because we want to remove the spaces at the left. So now that we've got all the initialization out of the way, let's iterate over the number. So we first check if the length of string is 0. So if len stir equals 0, then we return 0. Okay, so now that we've checked for that case, let's work on the problem. So we can iterate over the digits of the string, the substring. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually iterate over the substrings, and I'm going to check if the substring is an integer by using a try except. Now, using the try except, we would be able to see when the number stops being an integer. So we'll have a while true, and now we're going to have our try except. So before this, we need to initialize some variables. So result is going to equal 0, and index is going to equal 1. So while true, we want to check if result can equal stir, and then we want to go from 0 to index. And that's why we started at 1. And now we want to actually take the int of this, because then we can use our except function. So now we know that if result is not an integer, well, we first have to make sure that it's not a plus or minus and it's not the first index like this, because in this case it would be accepted. So we need to check if, okay, so what do we do here? So we first check if stir index minus 1 not equals negative or stir index minus 1 not equals positive, and we have to make sure and cnt equals 1 and index equals 1. And then we should have an or index greater than 1. Because if index is greater than 1, then there's no exceptions. So now we just return res. And then here we have to add to index. And then here we also have to add 1 to index. Now here we have to actually check if the number actually iterates through the whole length. So if index equals len of stir, then what do we have? Well, we first check if res is greater than or equal to int max. Then we return int max elif. Actually wanted this to be greater than, right? Because when stir is included. So elif res is actually greater than or equal to this one. So then we have res is less than or equal to int min. And if that's the case, we return int min. And then otherwise, we just return res. Okay, so now we have our end case here. One more thing, we're going to have to add this same block to right after every time we calculate res. So here we go. Okay. So it looks like we're done. So if we run code, wrong answer. Now, this is because I believe we have to actually check if it's greater than. So, oops. Okay, now it's accepted. And this was just a case with 2 to the 31st, 2 to the 31st. If I run something like this, that's less than int min. So, well, what happened here? Let's check. Let's just print. Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah, that won't. So apparently, when checking the negative character, it saw that. Oh, here's and. Okay. Okay, yeah, that's much better. So let's finally check these test cases, these more exotic ones. So first we have 4193 with words. We can run code. It's accepted. Now finally, let's test something that starts with words. So I'm going to run code on this. We see that it returns 0. Finally, let's just test the empty string and the white space string. So first we check empty string, and then finally let's check the white space string. So now that we're confident in our result, let's submit. And we're accepted. Runtime 24, faster than 74.67% of submissions. Memory usage 12.6, less than 88.14% of submissions, and we are done. Thank you so much for watching this video. It really means a lot. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, as well as click the bell icon. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please post them down below or email me at steamaspirations@gmail.com. This is Vishnu Majipudi, signing off. Bye.